Welcome back to Rivalry Bros. We're very excited to get back into the swing of football season. I apologize for the last 3 weeks vacation that we've had with episodes. My wife and I happened to buy a house, so we've been moving every day for 3 weeks, trying to get everything set up. Finally found my equipment in one of the boxes, and we're ready to get rolling with football season again. So the last 3 weeks are on me, but moving forward, we will be on a normal schedule where we plan on recapping and previewing the upcoming game as well. So let's jump back in. John, it's good to see you and be back with you, man. Tell me how Ole Miss's season has gone so far, 3 games in.
Well, I want to put a point out. I'm glad to see somebody in Starkville owns a house in that area. Glad to see the trailer parks are dying out a little bit, but let's dig into our season. Through 3 weeks, we are 3-0, 2-0 in conference. We had, 13-point victories, 13-point difference victories between Kentucky and Arkansas. It's been some tight games. We struggled first couple quarters. Georgia State threw 2 picks first half. Kentucky could do the same thing. We kind of bounced back there in Arkansas. Austin Simmons, he got a little banged up there in the Kentucky game. He had a high ankle sprain. So Trevion Canvas came in, and he was a D2 transfer. Man, he got a place to shine. He got a shot, and he did not let up. So his first start in the Arkansas game, he was 21 for 29, 72.4%. He threw, he threw 353 yards in the air for 1 touchdown, 62 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns.
What year is he?
He is a junior.
Okay, nice.
He's a junior. He just won a national championship in D2 last year.
And he transferred after that?
A transfer after that to Ole Miss. Hey, to get a spotlight. I mean, you don't see many D2 players go into the NFL.
Or just make some NIL money while you're in school after winning a championship.
I bet it's a little bit of both. But Austin Simmons hasn't been bad. Like I said, the first quarter of each 2 games that he started, he had slow starts, but then he figured it out after the first quarter. After 3 games, he is 34 for 56 with a 60.7 completion rate, 580 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. But in my opinion, the real spark that we've had, it was Keywan Lacey. If you remember a few episodes back, like Scott said, it's been a minute. We had him through the portal, and from Missouri, he's had, a total of 61 carries so far this year, 290 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's averaging just about 5 yards a carry. He has been electric because last year we struggled at the running back position, and he has been basically a savior in that room. Logan Diggs has done some good things. Another running back from Troy that we got has done some good things. But other than that, we've had it's been a good 3 weeks. I know about y'all's 3 weeks. Let me hear it.
Yeah, so to be fair, I watched some of y'all's games. And you remember, we talked about Ole Miss, and I kind of picked that Kentucky game. I think I said y'all would split
You did
Kentucky and
say that.
Arkansas. And I think I had y'all losing the Arkansas game and barely escaping with the Kentucky game.
And what you had us is you had us in those 2 SEC games going 1-1. You didn't know which one we would lose, but you said if we came out of that 1-1, we would be okay. But we came out at 2-0.
Now they were tight games, like we thought. So we were
right about
accurate.
that.
We were accurate on that, and
It
I
was
think those are going to be two pesky teams in the rest of the SEC too. But State coming off the 2-10, that first game on the road at Southern Miss was huge. People really just wanted to see not so much that we win because I think everybody thought we would, but how does it look? Are we seeing differences or are we seeing the same thing we saw last year? Effort wise, physical wise, things like that. And man, the first half of the Southern Miss game, we were moving and I was listening on my phone and watching when I could, but dude, people were upset. I mean, it was here we go again. This is not going to be any better than last year. We're in trouble because Southern Miss was pushing us around. We had one good drive to start the game, and then offense just fizzled out there in the first half and couldn't do anything. We there was a sequence we had. There was a sequence that we had, I think, a 20-yard pass play over the middle, and then we immediately threw three screen passes behind the line of scrimmage for no gain, and we punted it away. And so defense was getting run over. Now we went into halftime with the lead, but again, we were expected to win. So it really was just about how bad can we win. And man, at halftime, you should have seen the message boards. It was rough. But Jeff Levy, I guess, read the message boards at halftime because they came out in the second half and absolutely lit it up. I mean, defense was completely different than last year. They were stopping Southern every down. Blake Shapen started slinging it around the field very accurately and ended up pulling off 34-17 win on the road there, which again, people kind of realized, okay, this does look better in the second half. We just had to get the nerves out. We'll see what happens. Now, going into week two, the game that I had said
We
decides the
both said.
season already. We both said it, yeah.
I say we both said
Number
this
12.
your season's right here, week 2. Let's see what's going
Yep.
to happen.
Number 12, Arizona State coming into Starkville. Thought we should have beat them on the road last year. Really should have had a chance to, even as bad as we
Scatterboo.
were. Cam Scatterboo is the reason for that. But number 12 coming in, you had the coach talking crap about Starkville. We don't have any hotels to stay in. And then they put out the video with the little miniature wedding cowbells and trying to think that was going to do something. And man, that's the game I went to at the last minute. And I tell you, their quarterback, he was not prepared for the cowbells at all. He was awful. I mean, our defense really shut them down in the first half. We were up 17-3 at halftime, and really the three only came for a phantom roughing the passer penalty that shouldn't have been called. But they got the field goal, and defense played well. But I think I was texting with Justin. Um, it wasn't so much that the defense just played incredible, which they did, but man, Arizona State had some guys running wide open across the middle, and their quarterback had a clean pocket, and he couldn't hit them. He was overthrowing, throwing it short, throwing behind them. He was getting rattled left and right the entire game.
See, we
Now,
talked during that game. Y'all's defensive line played a lot better during that game than y'all's whole last season.
absolutely, we didn't have depth last season, but one name, Will Whitson, he owned the first half from that defensive tackle spot, and he's the reason they couldn't run the ball in the first half, and Levitt was in his head and couldn't throw it. But we go into halftime 17-3 lead, and everybody's like, just in shock. Can't believe we're looking like this, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The second half was one of the most stressful games I have ever seen in all my years at Mississippi State football. They came all the way back, tied the game 17-7, and they did it largely on rushing for about 4, 5, 6 yards a carry.
That'll
And
do it.
their coach came out of halftime and basically said, quarterback can't throw the ball. Great. We're running the ball. Every damn play we have, we are going to run the football up the middle. And they were able to because Will Whitson, while he stuffed them in the first half, he got hurt right before halftime, and he didn't play the second half. So they ran directly at his spot the entire second half, and you're talking about drives of 7, 8 minutes apiece. I mean, we just didn't touch the ball hardly. And, luckily our defense held them. They got the ball with about, it was a tie game. I think they got the ball with about 9 or 10 minutes left in the ball game. And I believe it was a minute, right at a minute left. We'd used all our timeouts. They were on the 1 yard line. They had like an 8 or 9 minute, 70 something yard drive down to the 1 yard line. And our defense, even with Will Whitson being out, stuffed them 3 plays in a row, 3 running plays. Same guy, 6, 7 yards of carry the whole half. And somehow, by the grace of God, they stopped him on the one. And their coach opted to take the lead, which I think was the right decision there. You have to take the lead in that moment, knowing we don't have any timeouts left. So they take the lead 2017, and everybody in the stadium's thinking, man, we got a great kicker. Just kicked a 55-yarder the week before. Just get it to midfield on a slant pass, spike it, kick the field goal, let's go to overtime, see what happens. And, man, you talk about I think it was a slant, first down, midfield. We threw the ball, went right through the receiver's hands, so that stopped the clock. And then with 38 seconds on the clock, the fastest man in college football, Brennan Thompson, they ran the same play that we scored on the first series in and did a crosser on their man coverage, and they got confused. And 58-yard touchdown to win the game with 38 seconds left. That place went nuts.
Listen,
And they went nuts because Mississippi State loses that game 99 out of 100 times. That exact scenario, we lose that game my whole life. It doesn't happen at Mississippi State. You don't score last second game winning touchdowns.
say,
So
I give you even better scenario. Y'all don't rush the field at Mississippi State.
never.
I've
I've never
never
seen it.
seen Davis Wade get rushed.
I've never seen it in my whole life, and I've always wanted to, but the way the admin has been, I just kind of was like, well, it's never going to happen. Now, during the week, there was actually talk on the message boards, if State were to win, given everything that has happened over the last few years, do you rush the field? And people just kind of went back and forth on that. There was people on both sides of it. And I tell you, after we scored to go take the lead, I immediately looked down at the student section,
Oh,
and
they were
you
getting
had
ready.
you had event staff going around talking to the students in the corners at the rails, and I was like, oh, they might let them do it. Oh man, this would be great. But it wasn't over. Arizona State got the ball back and still had 35 seconds on the clock thereabout. And I'm sitting there thinking, we left too much time on the clock. This guy's going to throw a bomb and we're in trouble. Uh, well, he didn't, because just like the entire game, he immediately on the first play stepped up, threw a duck, wasn't even close, and we intercepted it to lock the game down. And when that guy, Hunter Washington, when he intercepted that ball and it was over, I don't know how the place didn't fall down. I've never heard a Mississippi State game that loud, start to finish, in my entire life. It was insane. One of the best atmospheres I've ever been a part of. And, you know, people were talking online, oh, we're the engineering school. They got the field goal down in 20 seconds. No, the staff went out and took the field goal down. The students did not. It was already down by the time anybody got on the field. But once I saw people going on the field, I kind of couldn't believe it. I was just kind of like, oh my God, they're rushing the field.
You
We're
were in
actually
awe.
seeing this right now.
You were in awe.
So
You've been going to state games for 20 something years. You
crazy,
never seen
man.
that in your life.
Crazy. I've seen the videos when they played in Jackson and some Egg Bowls and beating Alabama, things like that, where they rushed the field. But I've never seen it at Davis Wade in my whole life. And it was crazy. We let the initial crowd go. We were sitting about halfway up. We let the initial crowd go, and then we took Parker down and got to walk around, and she got a picture with the cheerleading team and all that. So it was really one of the, huge core memory that we'll have forever. I mean, people are going to remember that game as hopefully being the turning point for the program. I mean, you talk about being as low as you can be the last few years. Now you got you a road win in the Power Five, Power Six, whatever it is now. Uh, you got you a top 12 ranked win at home from out of conference. Then you get Alcorn State coming in for your third game, which you desperately need. Um, so it ended up being kind of a rest game that you had to have. I'm really glad Tennessee wasn't this week, last week or this upcoming week, because I don't think that would have gone very well.
Your heart
But
couldn't handle that, could it?
right, so
Yeah.
we end up playing Alcorn, complete non-competitive game, just non-competitive whatsoever. Snooze fest. I think we scored on the second play of the game. We come out, we've seen coaches for state in the past come out against teams like that and, oh, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run a reverse. Like they're going to work on some things, right? Not necessarily we're going to blow them out. First play from scrimmage, Blake Shapen threw a 75-yard bomb, just missed the receiver, overthrew him just barely. And I'm thinking, oh, there it was. Second play, same play, touchdown, 75 yards. Second play of the game, and I'm thinking, okay, Levy's a little different. This will be interesting. And then they never took their foot off the gas. Ended up 63-0. I think it was 42-0 at halftime. And something else I've never seen. The coaches mutually decided at halftime that per NCAA rules, they were going to run 10-minute quarters in the second half. So State wins 63-0, and that's with playing 10 minutes in the third and fourth quarter.
Hey, y'all
It
had
could
an
have
Ole Miss
been
score.
it could have been 100. I mean, it legitimately, they could have put as much on the board as they wanted to. So we had to have the rest after a very emotional week before. So it's been a good 3 weeks so far. I am surprised. I had a bad feeling going into the Arizona State game. I wanted us to win, but I couldn't bring myself to realistically believe that we would. Them being a playoff team last year, I just didn't think it would happen. And boy, did they prove me wrong. And especially that defense, last in the SEC, bottom five in the country last year, and that same defense with the same defensive staff stuffs them on the 1 yard line 3 plays in a row after you've been getting run on the whole game. I couldn't believe it. It was
Should
it
have
was
went bought a
crazy.
ticket, lotto ticket
It
that day.
was it was crazy. So that's our first 3 weeks. It's been a season so far. It makes me even more excited for the rest of the year because now we're having fun at games again. It's not just agony every time you watch them run out of the tunnel like it has been. So it's should be a fun rest of the season.
Well, enjoy it while you can. Well, we're going to get down into week 4.
Let's do it. Who am I cheering against? Ole Miss. Who am I cheering for this upcoming Saturday? Tell me.
It's a former SEC team.
A
Keyword there's
former
for SEC team.
SEC team. Okay.
The Green Wave from New Orleans, Tulane.
Ah, okay.
It's this is a trap game. If you ever wanted to see what a trap game is, that's what this is right here. Ole Miss cannot overlook Tulane. They are a 3-0 team. First week, blow out Northwestern. Blew them out. Second week, it had a close game against South Alabama. Week 3, they had Duke. They beat Duke by 7. So you might remember this name, John Summerall, came from Troy,
Yep.
head coach, took that job over, and he's no pushover. The question be, what are we going to do at quarterback? Now, there's been reports and going out that Austin Simmons is in a boot right now because of his high ankle sprain. Well, if Chamberlain can do what he did last week, I ain't got nothing to worry about. what we do have to worry about is that quarterback they got. His name is Jake Redzel, who came from BYU. He has been a good addition to that football team. He has a um what is that? He has a QB rating of 84.8, which comes out to be a top 15th in the nation. He's thrown 522 yards so far, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I think we're going to change that number, hopefully. But overall, I'm excited about this matchup. Like, after 2 close SEC wins, and when Ole Miss climbs to the top of the AP polls, we have a tendency to let that rat poison y'all call the AP poll get in our heads. Everybody knows what that means. We can't let that play into an effect. We cannot let that play. I as long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Only problem is, like I said, that coach watches tape and sets a game plan up better than just about anybody in the country. I think as long as our offensive line, defensive line does what they're supposed to do, handles them, you know, this SEC school, American Conference. We have natural better athletes than they do, naturally. We should win that game. Now, if we go in there, throw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, then that's kicking ourselves in the butt. You know, we're not gonna. We got to start the game off right. Got to start the game off hot. We and oh, I'm just. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to get too hyped about it because I've seen what Ole Miss can do. We get to this 3-0, top 15 in the country, and all of a sudden just it falls down because that's what happened last year, as you brought up to me before.
We remember that Florida game, buddy.
No, not the Florida game, the Kentucky game,
Kentucky, and then
and
you built
Florida.
back good graces, and then Florida is what put the nail in your coffin.
That's so you understand my problem. You
Oh yeah,
understand where I'm getting at.
oh yeah. You can't overlook Tulane. Tulane's good. Even Kiffin, I think it was today or yesterday. He is the one that kind of made headlines by saying he expected. He didn't say I think. He said I expect John Sumrall, the coach of Tulane, to get an SEC job this offseason. And I think he's going to have some opportunity, maybe down in Florida, maybe up in Arkansas. We've
Definitely
already
not
seen
Vandy.
two.
Definitely not in Nashville.
No, there will not be an opportunity in Nashville for quite a while. There is no doubt about that. We've already seen UCLA and Virginia Tech fire their coaches, and we're 3 weeks into the season. So there's going to be a lot of movement, but he is definitely one that's going to be up there on some hot boards. Tulane's one of those teams that everybody on the state side remembers Tech and 10. We got whooped by Louisiana Tech. Tulane is that team for y'all. I'm not saying they're
Mm-hmm.
going to win, but I'm saying any ounce of distraction, that game will get away from you very fast,
I
and they
just
will not look back.
as long as our players don't look forward to LSU, which I'm extremely excited about that game. I will be there.
Well, that's why it's a trap game.
That's
Right
why it's
before
a
LSU
trap.
here, yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
got a trap game ourselves this week with Northern Illinois. You know, Northern Illinois, famously known for going on the road to Power Five teams and winning some pretty big games that they really shouldn't have had any business being in, much less winning. So they they really can worry you. Now, in the past, I would be very worried. Given how we played against Arizona State, the fact that we just had a basically practice against Alcorn State this past week. I feel really good about this game. The only thing that I think is in the back of every Mississippi State fan's mind right now is, well, we felt good about Toledo last year too, and we lost, what, 42-10, 42-17? So
The
that's
Rockets
the
came on
only
in.
thing. That's the only thing that I have in the back of my mind is Northern Illinois. Are they going to do what they've done to Notre Dame and some of these other big teams? So I don't think they will. I think we will be fine. We've got Tennessee the next week, so we really need to kind of come out fast and get some rest in this game too, if possible. But ultimately, win the ball game. I don't care how much. This is one of those. I don't care if it's by a point. I don't care. Win the game. Um, Now, as far as NIU goes, they live off their defense. Okay, their offense is pretty bad. They have not scored many points this year at all. So defense is going to be a big one. NIU loves to run the ball. They're not known for passing. They're known for running. And against Arizona State, losing our defensive lineman Will Whitson for the year, that is a little concerning. They've got two backs that are monsters. Um, So we're going to have to be careful there. They're averaging 179 rushing yards per game. So we're going to have to be shoring up the defensive line, bring the linebackers down, help stop the run. Passing is not anything to worry about versus them. Now, I will say for State's defense, I already talked about how impressive they were against Arizona State. Think about this. Last year, the whole season, State was giving up 216 rushing yards per game. Okay, and I know we've played Southern Miss and Alcorn State. I know that. I get that. But we're only giving up 140 yards per game this year. I mean, that's a massive, massive improvement. So that's the story of the weekend. Can we stop the run? And how does it look on our side of the ball? I don't worry about our offense. I think we can run, pass, do whatever we want. But this game's going to be about defense stopping the run on the Huskies there. So looking forward to it. Hopefully another blowout where we can rest and get ready for a huge SEC opener versus Tennessee in Starkville the following
You
week.
need to rephrase that.
What?
Y'all need to rest up for your gauntlet you're about to walk into.
Uh, Mississippi State has probably, if it ain't number one, it's number two. Toughest 5 games
You're
in the
not gonna beat
country.
Florida. You're not gonna beat Florida's gauntlet that they're in right now.
Florida's is pretty bad, and they are playing bad football at a bad time.
Very.
Now, I will say, their game against LSU, I fully expected LSU to do what we did to Alcorn State. I didn't think it would be close at all, and I don't know if LSU was overlooking them or just wasn't really fired up for it, but I think it was 20
LSU,
to 10. I mean, you got
and
Florida's
they had
terrible,
Florida threw 5 picks. Langway threw 5 interceptions.
and it was 20 to 10
LSU's offense isn't that good.
under Nussmeier.
And they haven't opened the playbook.
Well, it's
Now, I do want to ask. This is kind of like a two-part question for you.
okay.
Who is so far going into week 4? What is your letdown team, and what is the team that has surprised you the most?
In the SEC or in the country?
Country.
So overall, who is my biggest letdown and who is my biggest surprise?
I mean, if you got to think of it, I can give you a letdown real quick.
Well, my letdown is easy one because it's a team that I think they're always generally good, but their quarterback I expected to be competing for the Heisman, and I their coach has a very good history. They had a lot of returners this year. I really thought they were going to come out and do something special, and that's Kansas State. What an abysmal, embarrassing start to the season for Kansas State. You
Week
got a
0.
you got a veteran quarterback that you blew all your NIL money on. All right. You barely lose to Iowa State on the road in Ireland on the first game of the year, which I'm okay doing away with foreign games like that. But you lose to Iowa State, okay? You come home and you lose again. Kansas State's 1-2 this year. You know who their one win is against?
I hate watch. Besides week 0, when I was disappointed in them because they are a prime example why the preseason polls and AP polls
Right.
don't matter until later in the season. It's
The
proof.
only win that they have had is North Dakota. And when I say they beat North Dakota, I mean they barely escaped
Huh.
with a win versus North Dakota.
Huh.
So you're talking the teams they've played with a pulse, they've lost. The teams that they should blow out,
They ain't.
they escape. And I'm not talking about Ole Miss escaping with a win on the road at Kentucky or at home against Arkansas. I'm talking about like, I don't know, UAB coming in to your house and you barely win on a field goal. Like, you can't
That ain't
have
supposed.
that with
That's not
that
supposed to happen.
roster. They're underachieving massively. So that's my letdown team. Who's your letdown?
Oh, Notre Dame.
Yep.
Notre Dame,
Yep.
babe. And the crazy part is they're 0-2 and still in the top 25. That's what pisses me off the most.
Yep.
Like, they
You
haven't
know
done
why?
nothing
You
because
know
they're
why they
Notre
win?
Dame.
Because their name is Notre Dame.
Because
That's
they're
it.
Notre Dame.
That's the only reason.
Like, if Clemson didn't have 2 losses, they still be in the top 25.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yep.
speaking of the ACC though, my overachiever this so far is Florida State.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. Another
Man,
team that went 2-10 last year.
I'm surprised when they beat Alabama that first week.
Yeah.
I've been to that stadium when it was rocking. It didn't rock like that. That place was going. The Chop was singing. Oh, was I mean I had to cut my TV down because it was so loud. But that
Uh,
quarterback they brought in through the portal,
Castellanos, that
he's
dude is
legit. He's
a
legit.
he's a monster. Absolute monster, man. I didn't expect it. Another team went 2-10 last year, and you're thinking, oh man, they've got Alabama. I would have been terrified if State's first game was against Alabama this season. I
Y'all would
would
have
not have
folded.
been. I would have found something else to do. I would not have watched football that day. But I think their fans were equally worried. But Alabama, that brings me to one of my points. Alabama is not the juggernaut they've been over the last 15, 20 years. Georgia, I think Tennessee showed us. Georgia ain't what you thought they were going to be. Now, Tennessee's better than what I thought they would be for
That
sure.
was both of ours when we went over the SEC schedule. Tennessee was one of those dark horse teams we didn't know nothing about.
Well,
We
new
didn't know how good that
offensive
quarterback,
line, new
new
offensive line,
new
new
QB,
quarterback. What's it
which
going to
he
look like? And boy, have you seen UCLA?
Nico too stepped away from the football field, from the football game. Like he
Man,
stepped away from the team on Saturday and said he's got to reflect himself. I don't know if he's back or not, but he
man,
said Saturday night, Sunday morning, he held an all players meeting and said he's got to step away for a couple of days and go reflect himself.
well, what's he care? He got the bag. He's $2 million a year for garbage. I don't think he's thrown for 100 yards in a single game yet.
But Tennessee came out on top of that deal.
Tennessee came out golden on that
Yeah.
deal. Their quarterback is legit, and that defense was tearing Georgia up. High scoring game. I mean, but every time Stockton and Georgia did something, Tennessee right there. Hey, we can do it too, back to back. It was a great football game. Um, you asked me for my biggest surprise or biggest overachiever. I think I would have to go with everybody's second favorite SEC team, the
Oh, I can
Vanderbilt
guess. I'm about to say I can
Commodores.
guess this. I can guess that. Vandy,
The
baby.
Vanderbilt Commodores, baby.
Go
What
Doors.
what a player they have in Diego Pavia at quarterback. You talk about a guy not just carrying the team, carrying the program, carrying the school. That dude is a dog. And
He's
he
such a
is
dog. He's pimping out
primarily,
his own mama. What you mean?
I saw that. That's hilarious. Theo Vaughn is one of the funniest people out there. I loved every second of it. But look at Theo Vaughn, Nate Bargatze. These guys don't get to enjoy football season, and now they're
Mm-mm.
on the sidelines every week. It's fun again. That's the point. It's it's not a good feeling when you go to the ball field expecting to lose. And state fans, for the most part, I think have felt that way for the last at least 1 year, probably two. So it's draining. It's mentally exhausting because you're spending all this money on tickets, you're spending money on food and tailgating. You want to go have a good time, and then every time you get beat down, and you're left wondering, why do I do this?
Well, that's
Why
where
why am
alcohol
I
comes
spending
in.
this money? Right. Well, for those that drink, so
Man,
but that's the question that people have had, and now you see what Vanderbilt's doing. I think Mississippi State fans hope, hey, that's what we got. And, in the next few years, we got Kamario Taylor from Noxubee, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He played a little bit Saturday, and man, I'm telling you, that kid is going to be special. That's going to be some fun football. We got one of the top running back rooms in the country with some young guys in there. So there's a lot of promise on State's roster. The problem is, you look at the roster last year, there was nobody other than who was on the field. And you had no depth. You had no rotations. You had no substitutions. So this year, you're able to get a little bit of a rotation going, get some fresh legs in there, and they're talented.
well,
So,
let's rewind it
but
real quick. Let's back up before you get all into recruiting with the state and get back on state. I'm glad you brought up Vanderbilt.
okay.
You know the win that put them in the top 25. It was against your team that you just there's some mountain you're gonna die on with what team was it again? South Carolina? You said you were gonna die on that mountain with who? With what's your boy's name again? That I called a
He
what?
got he got hurt.
That's not my problem, dude.
It's a pretty big piece of the puzzle there.
Hey, I'm just saying. It just shows that and CBS put out a top 20 top 12. What was it? Top 12 most biggest disappointments so far this year.
Hmm.
And he made that list with him, DJ Lagway, Arch Manning, Nico, your boy. You brought up Nico. I just wanted to throw that out there. That mountain you were going to die on, it may crumble. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Well, I think you're doing exactly what I want you to do.
Exactly.
You're just thinking he's not going to be healthy, and you're going to overlook him, and then he's going to come drop 403 tutties on you, and you're going
Oh,
to be
he probably
going,
gonna be
what
healthy when we
happened?
see him. He's gonna be healthy when we see him, but I'm just gonna enjoy right
And he's
now.
going to South Carolina is going to beat Ole Miss. I'm telling you. I'm dying on that hill. South Carolina's
you
going to win.
you done made it from a hill to literally Mount Everest.
That's fine. You know what you guys don't have?
What's
You
that?
don't have a Diego Pavia on the team.
No. Well, we got a whole athletic team. They only have one player,
That's fine.
and you see how bad they beat them. And as long as if that backup plays, I ain't worried.
Well, okay, hold on now. If he's not healthy enough to play the game, then the hill I'm dying on is
No,
null and
it's still the
void.
same hill. So is it?
If
So
he
let's
doesn't play,
rephrase
that
this.
matters.
It's not South Carolina that's on the hill. You just ride in Sellers back.
You can't say Sellers is a bad quarterback
I've never said he
because
was a
South
bad
Carolina
quarterback.
lost a game that he didn't play in.
I never said he was a bad quarterback. I just said he is overrated because he's young and he is his first year. He's not there yet. He's like Arch. Arch got his. This is his first start. Look what he's done. He hasn't done nothing yet in
We know
three
why
games.
Arch is doing what he's doing because
No,
he played against private school Louisiana
that's not where I
1A
thought you were going with
football.
2A. But we're not. I thought you were going a different route with that perspective. I'm not even going to bring it up.
The fourth string on UTEP would have been an All American at the high school he played at. I mean, come on. He had no
He did get
competition,
th- he did get 3 stars because of his last name. I will say that.
no doubt. And he's, like somebody said, you got to remember, he's not Eli or Peyton's son. He's the wide receiver's son.
That was
So
both of their agents and made just as much money as they did.
that's right. So I'm just saying,
Maybe Arch.
I'm still on the Sellers train. He can get healthy. He can come back. Here's the thing. You don't know how long he's been injured. He may not have been right to start the season. So he could get healthy, fully healthy, and be the quarterback he was last year. We all saw what he did last year. That's what I based that off of. We
You
saw
based
what he
on
did
that
last year.
preseason hype is what you based on.
We'll revisit it. That's fine. We'll
You
come back
roll
to
that
it.
preseason hype all the way, and you go ride that sucker till it burns.
That's fine. You just need to set Sandstorm as your wake up alarm every morning that week, and then it'll be your nightmare after. I'm telling you, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss do the same thing every year. They start off the season doing very well, possibly undefeated for 6 or 7 games, and then immediately they get in the gauntlet, the meat of the SEC schedule, and they lose their last three or
Man,
four
we've
games
already
of the
played an
season.
SEC game. Not saying they were the hardest, but we played some. Our schedule this year is a lot better. Y'all got our schedule that we had last year. Played you four
Yeah, but
non-conference.
that's also the number two schedule strength of schedule in the country is what we have coming
Ours
off
was
of a
still
down
in the top
two
15
and
last
ten
year.
season. We're coming off a 2-10 season, and the SEC goes, "Your coach died. Instead of flowers, we're going to give you this. Enjoy it. The toughest
You just
schedule
don't
in the
want to meet.
country." What are we supposed to do with that? Oh, well, 3-0. And here's a stat for you that I didn't know till the other day. If Mississippi State wins on Saturday against Northern Illinois, which by all indications they should, it will be it will be just the seventh 4-0 start in the history of the football program. How about that? So you're talking about we're really getting something going now.
So y'all
So
been a program since y'all been playing football since 1902.
listen, did I mention our coach died? Did you hear me say that? Our coach died. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that happened. And not only did he passed away on the verge of what everybody was feeling was going to be um, was going to be uh, a 9-10 win season. And then he passed away, and guess what? The program tanks.
Y'all's
So,
program is that bad you'll kill the man.
well, I have my opinions on that, but I won't get into that. But there was a player that leaked a recording, a private meeting, and then threatened to transfer. And at the time, he was the star player. And
Just put him over the
48
edge.
hours later, our coach has a heart attack. I'm just saying, some undue stress was caused that probably didn't need to happen.
It is what it is at
So,
this point. That was probably the only Egg Bowl I was happy with losing because his last game was he beat us.
well, I appreciate that. We were very happy too.
At least he got the taste of victory in Oxford.
Well, there was a beat reporter for State that was talking about when you have must-win games in your program, and he was talking about that Illinois game, which was the bowl game right
Yeah.
after Leach passed. And he was saying that's one of the games you look at as having been a must win for the program, for the school, for the fan base, and all that with everything that was going on. I mean, that's unprecedented.
I
That
think y'all
doesn't
got that
happen.
bowl game because of him. The bowl game
No,
y'all
we
got.
we already had it.
No,
We
no,
already
no, no,
had
no.
that bowl game.
You missed the point. The location of the bowl game.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was cool. You know, they wore the pirate helmet and all that. Will
Well, they were
Rogers
in
going
Tampa.
out. Yeah,
They were at the Buck Stadium.
and that man, you talk about being a fan. I'm one of those. I watched Mike Leach with Texas Tech when they were doing what they were doing. Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree. That's when I really fell in love with college football. And I always wanted Mike Leach to be the state coach. So I said, if we're going to win, you got to do it different. And we got him, and everything was going great. And then, boom, out of nowhere. And you're just going, my God, boy, so glad to be a state fan, you know?
Let's take that
But at least
happiness
we won the
away.
baseball national championship in 21. We always have that. And we're getting back into baseball, too. I can't wait for our bet to come to fruition during baseball season because I'm going to enjoy watching state sweep y'all now that we got a real coach. So
We'll get into
I'm
baseball talk.
excited.
So let's enjoy football right now, buddy. Let's enjoy
We still got a
football.
few weeks to enjoy football, but I'm telling you, I
We got
don't
more
think
than
I
a
won't
few.
flip to baseball and basketball real fast. We got 5 games coming up that we may switch seasons real quick on you.
Well, let's go over the rest of the SEC games. We've done
Okay.
Mississippi State. We've done Ole Miss. So let's go into Arkansas versus Memphis. The spread is 7.5 towards Arkansas. The total is 62.5. 11 o'clock kickoff, ABC. Give me yours.
Is it in Fayetteville?
No, it is in Memphis.
It's at Memphis.
It's at
Oh,
Memphis.
okay.
National Guard will be able to
11,
attend and everything.
11 a.m. in Memphis, 7-point spread. I like Memphis to cover. I'm not
Okay.
saying Memphis will win, but I think Memphis can cover. Seven and
Okay.
a half, I'd take Memphis on that all day. With it
Uh,
being at Memphis. If it was in Fayetteville, no shot. But on the road in Memphis, for whatever reason, Liberty Bowl is a tough place to play, man. And Memphis does good at home, so I'd take Memphis to cover that.
I can see what your point, where you're going at, but Arkansas wins the game. I think they get a
Right,
rebound from they played us pretty well.
right.
They're going to take it out on Memphis, and I think Green's going to have one of his best games that he's had all year.
Well, see, Memphis is one of those teams that's no matter whether they win or lose, they're physical, and you're going
Mm-hmm.
to feel it. So they just played a physical, close game against y'all, an emotional game. They were in it till the end. So that's what I mean. I could see Arkansas winning, but I could also see Memphis keeping it very close and it being another tough game for them, for sure. So I like Memphis to cover that.
Well, here's another 11 o'clock kickoff. It was 11:45 on SEC Network. This one's going to be a blowout. We'll breeze through it. Tennessee versus UAB.
Ugh, what's the spread? 60?
38.5.
Ooh,
I'm going to give
in
Tennessee the
Knoxville.
38.5 points. I'm going to
That's
give
what
them
I'm
to them.
thinking.
I'm going to
I
give it
think
to
I
them.
think I think easily.
They got the same record, but Tennessee's coming off, that loss with Georgia.
Right.
They mad. They got some steam they got to blow off, and them Blazers just ain't ready.
Tennessee's going to be looking to do exactly what we're going to be looking to do because we play each other the next week. They're coming on the road to Starkville to that atmosphere that everybody in the country saw how amazing it was against Arizona State
Yeah.
and how loud the Cowbells were. They're going to be hoping to run it up and get some rest for those starters. I could easily see them covering that.
Yeah. Now the next game that I got, this is actually gonna be a really good game. At 2:30, ABC, Auburn versus Oklahoma at Norman.
In Norman.
In Norman, spread is 6.5 points. Oklahoma over and under is
Ooh.
47.5.
Oh, man.
That
That's a
was
tough
tough.
one.
That's
I
tough.
probably I wouldn't throw any money on that game because Auburn just beat was it New Mexico like 30-10 or 30-17 at their own field. Jackson Arnold going home to Oklahoma for the first time. You got John Mateer for Oklahoma, who's leading the Heisman polls and just playing out of his mind right now.
He is playing good
Um,
ball.
I think you said the spread 6.5 Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I would definitely take Oklahoma money line on that. I would probably give Oklahoma the points there because of the way their quarterback's playing. Honestly,
I think Jackson Arnold going to have a reunion, and he's just going to try to do too much.
well, that's
Uh,
the thing. Once he starts bad, he stays bad. He
That's
he
what
gets in
I
his own
think.
head a lot.
I'd give
So
Oklahoma them points, and they're going to run off with that game.
yeah, yeah, I agree. 6.5, I could see them doing that pretty easily. Honestly,
All right. Now you got South Carolina going to Missouri. Night game, ESPN, 10.5 points to Mizzou. You call it upset
I
city
I would not touch that game
with a 10 foot
until I
pole.
knew if Lenore Sellers was playing and how healthy he is.
So you're going to take
So
Missouri.
10.5. Again, I wouldn't give them the points, but Sellers coming off of a injury, I would even if he plays, I would still probably lean Missouri there. Points wise, I don't know if I'd give them 10.5. I'd give them the money line though.
See,
Night game in Como, I could see them winning, but again, for me, it depends on Sellers.
I'm with you. I mean, if Sellers plays, it would be a lot closer than 10.5 points. But if Sellers
Right?
doesn't play, Missouri takes that game. And me
Yeah,
now,
and their quarterback's been good this year too.
he ain't been awful. Um, what about Florida and Miami? College game day.
What a
Set,
pick! What a
huh?
pick for College Game Day,
What a
right?
pick! What a
Florida's
pick!
abysmal. Just threw 5 picks at LSU. Lagway sucks, and they're getting College Game Day.
7.5 point spread too.
I'm assuming Miami's favored.
Miami over
I'm
and under
giving.
is 51.5.
Is it a neutral site or is it at Miami?
No, it's at Miami.
What's the spread again?
7.5.
Miami and the points. I have no faith in Florida or Lagway. I think they're spiraling out of control, and I agree with what one of another podcaster I was listening to said. I could see Billy Napier being fired. They love to do it on bye weeks. I could see him being fired their bye week in October.
Ooh, that's gonna be an expensive bye week.
Doesn't matter. I just don't see them coming out of it. It's bad. I think if Florida doesn't beat y'all last year, if Florida doesn't beat Ole Miss last year, he's probably fired.
So what you're saying is we may have lost the game and lost the playoffs, but we retained our coach. I'll take that all day.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think he was on his way out, and then they pulled off the shocker against Jackson Dart and Ole Miss, and that's what got him another chance. Now Scott Strickland said, and imagine having to put out a statement after week 2 of your season that you're keeping your coach for the year. So he already said he's keeping him. I just don't think the boosters are going to allow that if they keep looking like they've been looking. So I
Fair.
think, I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Miami this year, but I think I would take Miami in the points just based off how Florida's been doing lately.
Same, same. All right. This is a game that last year was a shell shocker. Vanderbilt versus Georgia State. Georgia State beat Vandy last year. The points are 27.5. Over and under 53.5. In Nashville.
Vandy's favored by 27.5.
Yes, in Nashville.
It's in Nashville.
The construction zone will be rocking.
I definitely go Vandy. I don't think Pavia is going to let them slip up against Georgia State. I don't think I would give them the points. That's a lot of points
Georgia State's one
to
and
a
two.
team. Georgia State's 1-2.
Yes.
Mm. To me, that's still just a lot of points for a team
That's
that
I would
surprised you
money
last
line
year.
Vandy, but I wouldn't play with the
I would
points.
money, yeah, I'd go Vandy for sure, but that's a lot of points to give when they had a good game last year. Now, like Tennessee versus UAB, Tennessee's supposed to blow them out. That's what's supposed to happen. Vandy, you're supposed to blow out Georgia State, but you didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
So I can't throw 20, 27 and a half points on that one.
LSU's got a cupcake and lines that kind of doing what y'all are doing, resting up for us. Southeastern Louisiana. There's not even a spread or total on this one, so you already know what that's going to be.
Because that means it's so bad.
It's the spread this big. It's huge.
Yeah, that's one of those you don't touch.
You don't touch that one with a 10-foot pole, and this one I wouldn't stay away from either. Sam Houston, 0-3 team, going into Austin, playing Texas. It's a 39.5 spread. 51 and a half point over and under.
I'll take Texas, but I'm not touching those points.
Leave the points
Not
alone.
when, not when they just had a close game versus UTEP of all people. I'm
Right.
not touching the points on that. They didn't cover against UTEP, and wasn't the Sam Houston game last year a pretty good one? Wasn't it pretty
I
close?
don't remember, but Sam Houston is going to would lose regardless. But that's all
Yes,
the
it is.
games in the
They're going to
SEC.
lose.
Oh yeah, that's
But
all of the games
who's the
right
who's
there.
the biggest game? Who's the national? Who's the top game?
The top 25.
Yeah, who's the biggest game this weekend?
You got Texas Tech and Utah, 16-17.
That's a sneaky good game.
Uh, money. The spread is negative. Is 3.5 towards Utah. 57.5 points.
Where's it at?
Utah.
Ooh,
Give me the
ooh,
Red
that's
Raiders.
tough.
Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I'm thinking Texas Tech too. They've been looking good lately. I like
Uh,
them.
you got Michigan and Nebraska. I'm not really worried about
That
that
could be a
one.
sneaky good one. Nebraska's playing good ball right now.
Here's the one. Here's the game. Illinois versus Indiana.
Mm. Luke Altmaier, Starkville boy, playing for old Bert at Illinois. Been looking good. Illinois is rolling. Are they ranked?
Yeah, 9 versus number 19.
9
Illinois.
versus 19.
Uh-huh. Illinois is 9.
Oh,
Indiana's 19. Illinois is favored by 5.5 points. The total over and under is 52.5.
where's it at?
Indiana.
I cannot pick Indiana given their
Taking Luke.
cakewalk of a schedule they have. I'm going Illinois.
Taking Luke.
Yeah, you got to go Illinois there, and I'd probably put the points on that one too. Honestly, 5.5. I'd give Luke the points there.
Luke's been
Well,
balling.
Bert's been doing well there, um, for them, especially with Altmaier at quarterback. So I could see them, I could see them getting that one pretty confidently.
All right, well, Scott, I'm glad we're back. Hopefully, it won't be another 3 weeks till I see you.
It will not be. I'm ready to rock and roll. We are settled. Y'all will see my background change, episode to episode. Hopefully, when I get my full setup done. But it's been good to get back and talk ball for a while after coming home and unpacking boxes every day. So I'm looking forward to football this weekend. Next weekend's going to be even bigger. So we'll have a good preview to talk about going into week 5 over there. So, State and Ole Miss though, man, I think both teams kind of Ole Miss kind of doing what we thought they'd do, and I think Mississippi State coming out and surprising a lot of folks. So I'm curious
Definitely
to see how
surprising.
far we go with it. So I'm excited, man. It's been good talking to you, bud. We'll be back next week. Recap this upcoming weekend and preview a huge week in the SEC following up on week 5. This is Rivalry Bros. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.